Hey, we're Shannon and Jerry Arner, hosts of the Arner Adventures podcast.
We're a minimalist couple choosing a more intentional way of living, one decision at a time.
After burning out from the nonstop grind of running our business, we realized adventure doesn't have to look loud, expensive, or extreme to matter.
Sometimes it looks like letting go, starting over, asking harder questions, or figuring things out as you move along.
We discuss life's challenges, the small shifts that change everything, and the everyday choices that help us live with less physical clutter and mental noise.
You'll hear honest conversations, thoughtful stories, and reminders that a meaningful life is built in the in-between moments, not just the highlight reel.
This is the Arner Adventures podcast, where life itself is the adventure. Hey there, everybody.
Hey there.
We hope that you are enjoying 2026 so far. If you're listening to this the day it drops, it's January 20th, I believe. We are so excited about this topic because it's one that we've sort of leaned into in the last few years. And actually today, I've leaned into it, which I'm going to tell you about in just a second. Thank you to everyone who is always sticking around and listening to us. If you want to help us in the podcast in a way that you may not realize is so important, is go ahead and hit that subscribe button and give us a thumbs up or a 5-star review or rating on whatever platform you're listening to us on.
Yeah, that's right. And what we're going to talk about today is the myth of someday living and why waiting keeps you stuck.
Yeah, so what we mean by that is how a lot of people say, oh, I'm going to do that someday. It sort of goes along with, too, when we talk about having a lot of clutter. Oh, I need that for someday. Yeah. But it goes this way as far as lifestyle, too. There are some people who, and I think all of us can relate, that you want something, a different kind of life. You want a new job, something to happen, and you're like, well, someday I'll get that. So we're going to talk about that today, and we're going to talk about how it can keep you stuck and ways to avoid that. We've tried a lot of luggage over the years, and let's just say not all of it survived.
But Base did. It's the only brand we use and have for over 5 years.
Their bags are designed for real travelers like us, people who care about function, not just aesthetics, although Base is pretty chic. Their built-in weight indicator, the easy access pockets, the interior organization, every detail just works.
And they keep us from checking our luggage with their carry-on roller.
And if you're checking your luggage these days, what are you even doing? What are you doing, folks? So you can grab $20 off when you spend over $100 at arneradventures.com/base. That's BEIS. Whether it's a weekend trip or a week abroad, Base is the only thing we never leave without.
And you shouldn't either. Well, someday sounds responsible, right? It sounds like you're moving in forward.
Like you have goals.
Like you have goals. It sounds patient. Well, I'll get there someday. It sounds like we're being thoughtful instead of impulsive, like we're planning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can, some of the top excuses about someday is someday, when things slow down, or someday when my work feels lighter or I catch up.
Someday when we have more money. Yeah. Someday when this season is over.
Yeah, season of your life. Yeah. Could be fall, could be spring.
Yeah.
But sometimes when people are in different seasons of their life, they're like, yeah, I'm going to do that someday when this season of my life is over.
Yeah.
When the kids move out or when I retire, or all of that. So we used to be like that for a long time. We used the word without thinking much about it, seemed harmless, even practical. But over time, we noticed something uncomfortable about it. It's like we were not being patient. We were putting lives on hold, and we were putting our goals on hold. So we try not to say someday anymore because it was just for us, and I don't know if you can relate, kind of an excuse, like a way, how normalcy or complacency feels safe and comfortable, and you don't want to get out of that. Well, that's kind of how it is when you say, someday I'll do this. It just quietly keeps you stuck in the same place. So let's start, Jer, with what someday living actually looks like.
Well, that's a great place to start, right? So living for someday does not look dramatic or messy. It often looks very organized. It looks like planning without starting. It looks like something that has been almost ready, for a long time, for years. It means putting off joy, rest, or change until life feels a little more stable. Uh, it's like treating life as a waiting room instead of something already happening.
That's so true.
Yeah,
I love that.
Yeah, that's a good way to.
So it's not about being lazy, though, or lacking ambition. We want to make sure that that's clear. It often happens to people who are thoughtful, capable, aware of the consequences. It could be about fear, or it could be just, we get complacent and we tell ourselves that waiting for what it is that we want is the responsible thing to do. But on the outside, people think it's sensible. On the inside, it feels restless. Like there's this ongoing storm of something that you want badly to happen and you don't. So it just kind of sits inside and becomes sort of toxic,
It can, yeah. I think it often comes with a fear mindset too.
Totally.
Someday this, because you're being careful and cautious.
Totally.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't like risk.
Right,
And
yeah.
I can totally relate to that because I'm the person who prepares for the worst case situation in most situations.
Yeah.
But there are many things that I think about, like with our lifestyle, that I was ready and pretty impulsive about our changes. You weren't, but I think you're happy that we made them.
Oh yeah, things have all worked out for us in such a good way. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes you just feel like you got to push things forward. It becomes impulsive because it's just got to move.
You just got to do it.
Just got to move. So, why waiting feels so reasonable? Well, yeah, and it does for many people. Someday gives us comfort. Yeah, security.
Yep, gives us a sense of control when things feel uncertain.
Right.
It protects us from making the wrong decision or what you think is the wrong decision.
Yeah.
And it creates distance from disappointment, like that avoiding it. If something doesn't work out, well, I don't know if I want to do that because what if it doesn't work out? Well, what if it does work out?
Yeah. But then you'll never know. Yeah, waiting feels neutral, but it's not. Not making the decision is still a choice. Time keeps moving, whether we do or not. Yeah, time waits for no one.
Yeah. And this is a tough thing for us to realize, and maybe it's tough for you to realize. We weren't just standing still. And I'm just going to tell you, I am using what we did with our lifestyle in this situation. And we're actually going to make it a big lifestyle again this year. So it's pertinent now too.
Yeah.
But for us, it wasn't just standing still. We were choosing what we knew because it feels safer than facing the unknown. What do they say about the devil,
I'm not sure. I can't remember
The
that.
devil, is better than going for a better situation, because at least you know what the devil's going to do. The negatives in your life. You can predict that.
Yeah.
You can be sort of comfort in the negative or what you don't want because that's what's comfortable. People are afraid of change.
That's for sure. Oh, that one slipped by me all those years.
Really? The devil,
Yeah.
Oh, it's like when you're making a decision and you're not really. Let's just say you live in a town that, I don't know, you don't have anything, like you really want to live by water. You really want to live near mountains. And you're living in a town that is not what you want. And you're like, yeah, someday I will. But it's also like, well, the devil, is what you know. It's your lifestyle. So why change it if you know it?
Yeah. Yeah. That's true.
But
Okay.
there is a quiet cost of always waiting. And that's what we're going to talk about now. Someday doesn't end with a big failure. It just fades away quietly.
Right.
Confidence erodes when we never test ourselves.
That's for sure. Like they always say, do one thing that makes you uncomfortable every day.
Right.
Yeah. Energy drains when ideas stay theoretical. Time passes without ever announcing its departure.
That is so true.
Yeah.
That's a good way of saying that, Jer.
Oh, yeah. Well, I think because it reminds me of me. That's how I came up with it.
Well, nothing falls
I slip out without, saying goodbye.
Well, I do.
Oh, I know. It's called the Shannon dip.
That's exactly right. Anybody who's listened to this and knows me knows about the Shannon dip. I dip out of situations quietly in stealth mode so you don't even know. Okay. But nothing falls apart all at once, right? Things don't just happen. After a while, that starts to feel normal. The scariest part is that waiting can start to feel like a part of who you are and not just a habit. It's just who you are. There are some people who have a ton of dreams.
Yeah.
They say, one day I'm going to go do this. someday I'm going to have the ability to do this. And so when we realized that we were doing this too, we had our own version of someday.
Yeah.
We were waiting for the right timing, waiting for more certainty, waiting for a version of life that felt less risky and more predictable, and normal for everybody else.
Right.
Is what we were doing.
Yeah. Yeah. What finally changed was not a big moment or sudden insight. We realized that the season we were waiting for kept moving further away. The conditions would never be perfect. The confidence we wanted was not going to show up ahead of time.
Yeah.
You got to grab that confidence or maintain it, We did not feel brave when we started making changes. We just felt unsure and tired of waiting.
That's exactly right. Tired of waiting.
Tired of waiting, yeah. So tired of waiting. Clarity did not come before we took action. It came because we started moving.
Yeah, we actually started making moves towards the lifestyle that we wanted.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So, how do you stop living for someday? How did we do this? Well, I'll tell you, we didn't make huge changes all at once. I say that in a light term. We did make a lot of changes at once.
Oh, we did.
But the idea of what we wanted wasn't completely all at once.
Right.
What we did was we made small, quiet changes that add up over time. Now I can use present tense in this. Mm-hmm. So we have talked about this on other episodes that we are changing our lifestyle again, our geography. We're changing the tiny to a smaller setup, more like tiny living.
Yeah.
And right now we are making small, quiet changes that are going to lead up to that. And it adds up over time.
Yep.
And what you can do is, whether it's your lifestyle, whether it's a job, whether it's, deciding to do something different with your living situation, your car, your hair, you can, instead of waiting for the perfect version of what you want, just ask yourself, what's the best possible version right now? Yeah. Let's say you're us and you wanted to live by the water. Okay. A few years ago, that's what we wanted. We wanted to live small and we wanted to live by the ocean. Yeah. Well, instead of getting a beachfront house, we opted for this tiny little abode that was 2 blocks from the water. Yeah. We can change it instead of always waiting for what we think has to be quote unquote perfect.
Yeah. So we stopped asking the future for guarantees. We realized we were hoping the future would promise things it couldn't. Certainty never came, but momentum did.
Yeah, and there's something to be said for momentum.
Something can be said for momentum. Yeah.
So let it be messy, all right? If you're listening to this and you're one of those people like me who it all has to be perfect. Yeah. I learned this from Jenna Kutcher, where done is better than perfect. Right. So it doesn't have to be perfect. Start before you are ready to make that move. That's what we did. We started before we were ready completely to make the move and preparing for it. And the progress came from taking action, not just planning. Yeah. So it may be decluttering. It may be following our declutter challenge this month. Maybe you're in it with us, the 30-day declutter challenge that's free in the show notes, by the way. Yeah. Maybe you just started Declutter 365. Whatever it is, you're taking action toward having a clutter-free life, if that's your situation. Right. It could be preparing to rescue a dog or a cat and bring the pet into your home. There are steps you have to take to get prepared, and that is that momentum moving you forward.
Yeah. So, a reality check we wish someone had told us.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't need to blow up your life to stop waiting. That's a good one. You don't need permission to begin. You give yourself permission. You don't need the perfect season. If you keep waiting to feel ready, your wait might be forever.
Yeah, it's really all about living intentionally now. Yeah. We've talked about this, be here now, in the moment. It doesn't mean being reckless. It means being honest with yourself. So a situation today. We are recording this in Burlington, Vermont, where we've spent the holidays, and we love it. And we have one more day here. Yeah. And I said today, oh God, I'm all of a sudden getting bummed about the fact that we're leaving tomorrow and all of that. And then I was like, no, wait a minute. I need to enjoy right now.
Yeah.
It's like the Sunday scaries. When you have Sunday scaries about Monday, you're really taking your Sundays away.
Yeah, yeah.
Because it's all negative. It's the same thing about wishing for someday. Just live in the moment and try to make steps towards whatever it is that you want. Living now, being here now is not perfect. So do it even when it's imperfect. Someday is not guaranteed. We talk about that book, and I always forget her name. The person who wrote, the hospice nurse who wrote the book, asking patients what they regretted and all of that.
Yeah.
Those people regret that they didn't do the things that they always wanted to do. It was always someday.
Yeah.
Someday I'm going to, live in the mountains. Someday I'm going to take that trip to Europe I never did. Someday I'm going to hike part of the Appalachian Trail.
Yeah.
And they didn't.
And they never regretted not working more.
No. Nobody ever says that.
Right.
Nobody ever regrets all the shit in their house, like having more shit in their house.
Yeah, yeah.
I really wish I would have collected more shit so that my family has to deal with it when I'm gone. Nobody does that. So living now does not mean you have all the answers. We don't have all the answers.
Yeah.
We know what we're moving toward, and we are going to, even if it's not perfect, we're still going to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It means you stop waiting for your future self to take action and start being present in your own life.
Yeah. That kind of life is quieter, less polished, and much more real.
It is.
Yeah.
So, we've sort of gone through, and we hope that this podcast has been helpful, because we did find ourselves kind of reflecting on last year and our past lives of the someday living and all of that. And we thought, God, this is such a great topic, because people do say that a lot. Well, no, someday. We hear it from our parents.
Yeah.
Someday we're going to do this. Or we hear it from people our age, maybe even younger.
Yeah.
And we're not guaranteed someday.
That's right.
So, we hope that this helps you understand that just moving towards what it is that you want for someday is how you make it. It's how you, accomplish that dream that you have for yourself.
Yeah.
So as we wrap up, here are a few questions that you can sit with and kind of contemplate being mindful about. The first one is, what are you waiting for that has not changed in years?
That's a good one.
You might have a vision board. You might have things written down as a goal for yourself or intentions. What is it that you're waiting for, but it hasn't changed?
And everybody's got one too.
Yeah.
What is the smallest version of this you could try now? See, that's a good way. I like that. Baby steps. Like, break it down. Try with some little steps first, and then work up to something.
Yeah, you really love Burlington, Vermont, and you're like, okay, I want to live there. All right, well, why don't you try some stays?
And get a picture of it on your wall.
Why don't you get a picture of it on your wall? But why don't you go, okay, I need to go in snow season. I need to go in the heat. I need to I want to live in a tiny house and I want it right now. But you live in a 5,000 square foot home. Maybe go down to 2,500 square feet.
Lock yourself in your bedroom.
Lock yourself in your bedroom.
Yeah.
Okay, we don't encourage that. But live in part of your house. Live in just the downstairs.
Yeah.
Go visit some tiny homes. The issue with tiny homes is a lot of people go and they stay there and they go, I can do this. But they don't have all their stuff with them.
Yeah.
You only have a few outfits and that's it.
Yeah.
Well, you don't have all your stuff. So can you do it?
Right.
And the other question is, if nothing changes for the next 2 years, would you regret waiting?
And 2 years goes quick.
It goes so quick. So you don't have to hurry. You just do not have to keep putting your own life on hold. Right. And that's the message that we hope we get across, especially in January. January sort of feels like, the month of starting over, clean slate, rebirth, all of that stuff. Yeah. So start now, whatever it is, try to maybe write down what that is that you want, that you keep saying someday, and see how you can inch closer to it in small ways.
That's right. If this episode resonated with you or you know someone who might need to hear it, feel free to share it along. That truly means a lot to us.
You can also support the podcast by leaving a 5-star review or rating on the platform you're listening on. It helps more than you probably realize.
Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss future episodes. You can always find us, the show notes, and the brands that support the podcast at warneradventures.com.
Until next time, here's to the small adventures, the hard ones, and everything in between.
Bye-bye.